Friends, welcome to USN Mix channel. Today we're going to talk about something most review channels won't say out loud. Haier makes 4K TVs that look incredible on paper, big screen, 4K resolution, smart features, all at a price that makes Samsung and LG look expensive. But is that low price actually a good deal? Or is it a corner being cut somewhere you can't see? That's the truth we're going to find today. No sugarcoating. Just what Haier 4K TVs actually do well, and where they quietly fall short. What we cover. Okay friends, before we go deep, let me tell you exactly what's coming. We'll cover 3 things. First, what Haier is, and why it's suddenly everywhere in the budget TV market. Second, the good stuff, the things Haier genuinely gets right. And third, the honest truth about where these TVs cut corners, because they do. And at the end, I'll tell you very clearly who should buy a Haier 4K TV, and who should stay far away. Who is Haier really? Now let's talk about the brand itself, because the story matters here. Haier is not a small company. It's a Chinese brand, and it's actually one of the largest appliance makers in the entire world. Refrigerators, washing machines, air conditioners, Haier has been in homes for decades. What most people don't know is that Haier also owns a big share of the TV market through other names. They've been making panels and televisions for years, often under brands you might already trust. So this isn't some unknown knockoff brand trying to sell you a cheap TV. This is a serious manufacturer. But, and this is the important but, making great appliances and making great TVs are 2 different skills. And that gap is where the truth about Haier TVs lies. The good, what Haier gets right. Okay friends, now let's talk about the good stuff, because there is real value here. First, the display, for the money. A Haier 4K TV gives you a genuine 4K panel. Not upscaled 1080p pretending to be 4K. On a 43 or 50-inch screen, that resolution looks sharp, and colors are honestly better than you'd expect at this price. Second, the price. This is the entire reason the brand exists in the TV space. You can get a 43-inch 4K smart TV from Haier for a price where Samsung or Sony would only offer you a smaller, lower resolution screen. If your budget is tight and screen size is what matters most to you, Haier is almost impossible to beat. Third, the smart features. Most current Haier TVs run Google TV or Android TV, which means you get the full Play Store, all the streaming apps, Chromecast built in, and Google Assistant on the remote. That's a genuine strength, because many budget TVs save money by shipping with a slow, limited custom operating system. Haier doesn't do that here. The truth, where corners are cut. But now, friends, we have to be honest. This is the part most reviews skip. The corners are cut in 4 specific places. Let me walk you through each one. Number 1, brightness and HDR. A budget Haier 4K TV will claim HDR, but the panel simply doesn't get bright enough to show it properly. HDR needs real peak brightness to work, to make highlights pop and shadows stay detailed. On these TVs, HDR is more of a label on the box than something you'll actually experience. In a bright room, the screen can look a little washed out. Number 2, contrast and black levels. These are regular LED panels, not OLED, and usually not even the better full-array local dimming you'd find on a mid-range Samsung. So in a dark room, watching a dark movie scene, blacks look gray. The panel glows. It's fine in a lit room, but it's not a cinema experience. Number 3, motion handling. If you watch a lot of fast sports, cricket, football, or play games, this is where you'll notice it. Fast movement can look slightly blurry or juddery, because the panel's refresh rate and processing are budget level. Haier is not the brand I'd recommend to a serious gamer. And number 4, the audio. The built-in speakers are thin. They're fine for news and regular shows, but for movies you'll almost certainly want a soundbar. That's not unique to Haier, most budget TVs have weak audio, but it's a real extra cost people forget to plan for. Haier versus Samsung, the honest comparison. Now let's talk about the comparison people actually search for, Haier versus Samsung. Because here's the honest truth, and I want you to really hear this. These 2 brands are not playing the same game. Samsung is not more expensive just because of the logo. You're paying for better brightness, better contrast, smoother motion, better audio, and, very importantly, better build quality and longer software support. A Samsung TV will generally hold its picture quality and receive updates for longer. Haier, on the other hand, is winning on one thing and one thing only, value per rupee of screen size. If you want the biggest 4K screen for the smallest amount of money, higher wins. But if you want the best picture for that money, you might actually be happier with a smaller Samsung at the same price. That's the real trade-off. Bigger screen from higher, or better screen from Samsung. There's no wrong answer, it depends on what you value. Who should buy? So let me make this decision simple for you. Buy a higher 4K TV if you want the biggest screen your budget allows, you watch mostly in a well-lit room, and your content is regular stuff, news, serials, YouTube, streaming shows. For that, higher is genuinely great value. Do not buy a higher 4K TV if you're a serious gamer who cares about fast motion, you watch movies in a dark room and care about deep blacks, or you're sensitive to picture quality and plan to keep the TV for many years. In those cases, save a little longer and get something better. And one more honest point, build quality and panel consistency. Haier is a value brand, so quality control is not as tight as the premium names. Two people can buy the same model and one panel can look slightly better than the other. It's called the panel lottery, and it's a real thing in the budget TV world. Price and verdict. Okay friends, now let's talk about price, because this is where Haier makes its whole argument. Now the price, so how much is its price? Depending on the model and size, a higher 4K smart TV in India starts around the budget segment, roughly 15,000 to 30,000 rupees, going up from there as the screen gets bigger and the features improve. For a 43-inch 4K Google TV, you're looking at the lower end of that range, which is honestly remarkable. So here's my final verdict, and I want it to be fair. Higher 4K TVs are not bad TVs. They are honest budget TVs. They give you exactly what they promise, a big 4K screen with smart features at a low price, and they deliver that well. What they don't give you is the picture quality, brightness, and polish of the premium brands, because that's simply not what you're paying for. If you understand that trade-off going in, you'll be happy with a Haier. The only people who end up disappointed are the ones who expect a 20,000 rupee TV to perform like a 60,000 rupee one. It won't. And it was never going to. Outro. So friends, that's the full truth about higher 4K TVs. Big screen, great price, real corners cut, and now you know exactly which ones. If you plan to buy this TV, the product link is in the description box below. And if this helped you decide whether you're buying or staying away, subscribe if you like and share it with someone who's shopping for a TV right now. If you have any questions, comment in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer. Comment in the comment section. Hope you will enjoy this video and thanks for watching. Friends, subscribe if you like and share, and I will see you in the next video. Okay friends, I'll see you in the next one.